Hello, this is one of the first videos for my new YouTube channel where I will be speaking about art, the things that make art today in 2024, the history of art a little bit, well, only the history of art as to how it applies to us today. And I am very, very excited, motivated, inspired by the ideas of pop art, and I thought that I'd, in a brief introduction, talk about pop art today. So when did pop art start? Well, it was London in 1956, just after the war, in which young artists who met at the ICA, in fact they were booked in as the independent group because they weren't members of the ICA, and so they got called the independent group, and they put on an art show called This Is Tomorrow. This Is Tomorrow, first pop art show, but the first time to think about the ideas that there was no longer high art or low art, there was just art. And that the art that motivated these young artists in London was stuff in magazines, products. It was not stuff in art galleries, and it was not used as a prop. That fine art and high art had been used as a prop for the ruling classes of Europe and the Catholic Church or other churches to say, well, art's a holy thing, and these painters, this is a gift given from God. All belief in that sort of thing had gone with the Second World War, and now Europe and London were very grey and very bombed out, and they saw, the young artists, the independent groups, saw the colour in magazines, the colour in products, the whole idea of a better life in colour films, in film stars, in a culture that wasn't just about rich people and the church, but a culture of the everyday. And so that was called pop art, but it rested on a philosophical idea of the long front of culture. The man who wrote this down was Lawrence Alloway. He was like the convener of the independent group. And he wrote down that art, doesn't necessarily have to be fine art like a Renoir painting. A Renoir painting could be a chocolate box. It could start as one thing and move on to be another thing. So you'll see at many Catholic shrines really cheap bits of tat, and they are just as important to the people buying them as the great painting or the shrine or anything. And it's this idea of value, this idea that popular culture wasn't valuable, was what drove and was the inspiration. That more of the inspiration was an idea of what happens in the future. So the art show, the first pop art show, was called This Is Tomorrow. And this, in very much the same way as a ball gets kicked onto the pitch, this was the ball being kicked onto the pitch that other people played with and rolled around and thought about. What does that mean? What does it mean to do an art show, This Is Tomorrow, and to be thinking that art has left the building, is no longer in galleries, and is much more open and free? And that's the point at which I start being interested in art theory. I kind of studied it before that and thought, well, that's in a book. After the independent group and pop art, I started thinking, this is about me. This is a bit of me. This is saying that everybody can make art, and that everybody's art is valuable, and that what motivates you can be anything. And it could be, this is a Hawaiian shirt made out of a picture of Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. It could be anything. But if you're excited about it, then it's important, and then it's valid. And I went to a very conceptual art school, and I really enjoyed this as a concept. I enjoy conceptual art, I enjoy painting, I enjoy art in general, I enjoy thinking. And so this is a starting point to thinking. This long front of culture is also the starting point of my video blog that I hope to bring you along with. So subscribe, or whatever a person does in 2024. And join me on this journey in which I will share bits of knowledge that I've got and gleaned, and we'll talk about art and artists and how I think it's all working. And let's have this adventure together, because I think it's very important to be an art collector or to be an artist or to be interested in art. I actually think it is enriching. I just don't want to frame it in the idea that it supports an establishment. So it's a disestablishmentarianism of art is pop art. That's the longest word in the English language. Before I get too long and wordy, I will go and leave you with the thought of the long front of culture for a week, and I'll be back next week with more of the same, but bigger, better. See what I've done? I've taken my ideas from advertising. See you soon. Bye for now.